What are you saying, ladies and gents? It is your boy BucketHatSam. We're back in today for another video. Today's video, I'm going to be ranking all of the League One 2023-2024 shirts from worst to best. So lock yourselves in, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride and it's going to be controversial. And comment down below all of your opinions in the comment section. And do not forget to subscribe before we start the video because we are going for 10k subscribers for the end of the year. Yes, it's a big jump, but we're going to try it and we're going to go for it. Right, let's get into it. Right now in 24th place for me was one of the easiest decisions I've ever had to make in these ranking the kits videos. It is Barnsley. Now, where do I even start with this shirt? I do not know what has gone on with this. I'm all for a bit of creativity, a unique shirt, but this is just too far. I am not a fan of this whatsoever. I'm not a fan of the stars, whatever that sponsor is. I don't mind the central badge, but then I'm not a fan of the collar either. It's just a really weird shirt. And then that, it's like a PowerPoint design, like the way that the kit color always fades all the way down. It just doesn't seem right. So that's why I've gone for Barnsley in 24th place. 23rd place now we have Stevenage, another shirt where, as I said before, I'm all for unique designs, but this is just peculiar. I do not know what's going on. I do not understand this pattern, whatever it is, going through the center of the shirt. And then for me, that sponsor is way too big. It is way too bright. It completely takes over, but I don't really understand this design. You know, sometimes when you look at a shirt, you think, do you know what? I can see what they're trying to go for here. This is just mental. I do not like it whatsoever. It just doesn't look like a football shirt for me. So that's why I've gone for Stevenage in 23rd place. 22nd now, we have got Reading. Now, this is a shirt that a lot of people seem to really like, but for me, this is not nice at all. I am all for the hoop shirts. I like the design, and I understand you can't really do much. I liked it when they added a little bit of gold trim to it, but this season, I'm not a fan as it is, and I said it last season on that sponsor, the way it kind of fits in, because your eyes are kind of drawn to it because it's against that bold blue. Now to the rest of the design. It's the buildings, the design of it, and the bridges. I understand the meaning of it, but it just doesn't look right on the shirt. It takes away from the fact that it is a hoop shirt. It doesn't look like a Reading shirt to me. I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. I just don't think it works at all. And when you look at it from a distance, it does just like it's just loads of squiggly random lines. I'm not a fan of this at all. 21st place now we have Blackpool. Now this is a shirt that I'm really disappointed in. Last season I gave them one of the, if not the best shirts in the league. I thought it was a really nice intricate design, whereas this year they've gone for a boring Puma template. There is literally nothing to talk about with this design other than the fact that the sponsor does really fit in with the rest of the shirt. Not even a trim on the end of the sleeve. There's not much to talk about. It's a boring template Puma shirt that we've seen before. 20th place now, much like the one before, it is Peterborough, another boring template Puma shirt. Now the only difference between the two shirts is the fact that there's a centralized badge and there is a bit of a trim on the end of the sleeve, so that's why we're pushing up to 20th. But bar that, it's not a very nice shirt. It is just completely dull. The sponsor's way too big. That's all you can say, really. Another dull Puma boring template shirt. 19th place now we have Wigan Athletic. Now this is a really bizarre shirt. I'm all for a shirt without a sponsor because I think it really adds something to it. It can usually look so simple and slick, but yet again they've not done this at all. You've kind of got this stripes and you've got a bit of a clash with that trim on the end of the sleeve and the collar, but then for me, I do not like that diamond pattern. Again, I'm all for a creative design, but I feel like this is now just creating designs for design's sake. It doesn't really look like a football shirt, and again, it just takes away from those bold stripes. 18th place now we have Derby County. Now there's a lot of talk about with this shirt. First of all, we're going to talk about that horrible sponsor that really does not fit in with the shirt, and that is the only problem with a white shirt. There's not much design you can really add to it. We always say it with Tottenham Hotspur, but Derby have tried their go at this, yeah? They've tried it, and it has not worked for me whatsoever. That sponsor does not fit in. Your eyes are drawn to it with the yellow and the green on there, and then on this kind of shoulder line, whatever this tartan kind of design is, I don't really understand the point of it. I know I've read up about it, talking about it's like a combination of retro and a modern look, but for me it just doesn't look like anything. It looks like someone's taken the Nan's curtains and just plonked it on the shoulder of a football shirt. Not only that, I do like the collar though, and I like the trim on the end of the sleeve, but for me, it's just missed this shirt. 17th place now we have LEYTON ORIENT, a bizarre Puma shirt now. At least it's not a template, so I can put my hands up and say, fair play to Puma this time. But you've still got this one wrong. I am not a fan of these kind of like diagonal stripes that are going across the top and kind of the shoulder and the torso of the shirt, whereas the fact that they don't line up. I know it's something really simple, but for me, it doesn't look right. There's something not right about it. The beautiful thing about football stripes is it's consistent and it's bold, it's bright, and it's so simple and effective, whereas they've tried to add something here and try and do something different, and it doesn't really seem to work for me. So that's why I've got LEYTON ORIENT in 17th place. 16th place now we have Lincoln City. Now this is a shirt that has got so much going on for me, and that is why I'm not a fan of it. I think they've overdone it here. I like the trim on the end of the sleeve with the black collar, with the fact that it then ties in with the sponsor, but then I don't like that black stripe that then goes all the way from the trim on the end of the sleeve all the way up to the collar with the extra white stripe. There's just too much going on over there. And then I am not a fan, and you know this, I always say this on shirts, I don't like it when they leave a big bold space for a sponsor, like they've stuck a massive sticker on, because then it makes it like, do you know what, This shirt is designed around the sponsor, not around the football team, so that's why I'm not a fan of this one. So from now on, this top 15 now are shirts that I do quite like, and now we're going to really be picky and try and find those fine details which make the difference between all of these shirts. So in 15th spot, we've got Northampton Town. Now this is another Puma shirt, and I think there's a common occurrence what you can see with these Puma shirts this season. Bar the LEYTON ORIENT shirt, they are all very, very dull. They're quite template shirts, but the one thing I like about this is the colour palettes on this shirt. I like the way that they've taken and deconstructed the colours from that badge, added that to the collar, to the pinstripes, to the sponsor. It looks like a football shirt. It looks like it all should go together. Yes, it's missing some finer details, but overall, it's an okay shirt. You can't go wrong with it. Simple, but effective. 14th spot now, we have BOLTON Wanderers. Now, this is a bit of a pretty odd shirt for me. I really like the trim on the end of the sleeve. I like the trim on the collar, and I like this kind of black line that separates the sleeve to the middle of the shirt, but then that sponsor just doesn't look right to me. It's green and it's small, so even though it's not so big and in your face, because of the shade of it, you're kind of drawn to it, and I like the rest of the shirt. I like the fact that it is just simple and left plain, because this is what we spoke about earlier with Derby, with the fact that Derby have tried to add something on that doesn't look like it should and really fit in the shirt, whereas Bolton have just kept it simple and slick. It's just let down by that sponsor. Bar that, it's a really nice shirt. 13th spot now, we have Port Vale. Now this is a really difficult one for me. This is a shirt that I've been umming and ahhing about through recording this video and making notes and doing a bit of research into this video. I really like it and really hate parts of it, which is the real big frustrating part. First of all, I'm going to talk about the colourway on this shirt and the colour palette they have used. I love the fact that they've deconstructed that badge throughout the shirt. I quite like these horizontal bold, thick stripes. It's something different that we don't see very often in football. I like the fact that they've left the white sleeve. I like the trim on the end of the sleeve. I like the collar, but then that big black stripe going through the middle of that shirt with the massive sponsor on it is what takes over the shirt. That's what your eyes are drawn to because of that white contrasting on that big black stripe. You are drawn to that sponsor, and it really, really lets this shirt down. I feel like this shirt had so much potential, but that is what lets it down. And not only that, the sponsor's really ugly. Like, it just looks bizarre, doesn't it? It looks like a badge in itself. You're kind of drawn to that logo, and you're going, what on earth's going on? It's a big question mark, and this is what that shirt leaves you with. Big question marks. I don't know what's gone on there. Had so much potential, just let itself down with that. 12th spot now, we have Shrewsbury Town. I know a lot of people going, Sam, that's a boring shirt. No, this is a really simple and yet effective shirt. It's kind of got an old style shirt, like that retro feel, which is why I like it with that collar, because you can't beat a bold collar like that, which again is the colour palette, and which I love. They've deconstructed the colours on the badge, as I always say. The trim on the end of the sleeve is really nice, and the fact it ties in with the collar. The sponsor fits in like the shirt, and it doesn't look like it's taken out of place. That sponsor looks like it should be on that shirt, which is why I like it. Simple and effective. Shrewsbury, you've smashed it. 11th place now, we have got BURTON Albion. Now, this is a shirt that is just, again, another simple but yet effective shirt. I love the trim on the end of the sleeves. I love the shoulder. I love the collar. I love the colourway. I love the stripes, the intricate detail. But again, yet let down by that sponsor. It feels like a common occurrence. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, you can't do anything about the sponsor. But it makes a shirt. It will literally decide whether the shirt is a nice one. And the fact that you've got the blue and the grey on that sponsor, on that logo, it kind of draws away from the rest of the shirt. If that was black, it would fit in with the rest of the shirt. It would look like a really beautiful design because it's a really nice shirt. I'm a big fan of it, but just again, let down by that sponsor. Now into the top 10. If you haven't already, please do smash the like button and do subscribe. 10th place, we've got Cambridge United. Now, this is a bit of a wacky, in-your-face shirt, and these are the controversial ones where people either love them and want them at number 1, or they want them at 24th place. I think it's an okay shirt. They've done a really good job with the trim on the end of the sleeve. I like the collar, but I don't like the fact the two of them aren't the same. It's little details like that that I love on a shirt. I wish they'd have taken that white and black collar and then put that on the trim on the end of the sleeve. I love this detail going over the shoulder. I like the fact that they've kept the rest of the shirt pretty simple, because if it's that design that they've got on the sleeves throughout the shirt, it'd have been way too much. The sponsor, that is quite bold. It does take over, but it does kind of fit in with the rest of the shirt with the badge. So I'm not letting it down too much, but I think it's the trim on the end of the sleeve and the sponsor really the two main things that let this shirt down. But okay, again, it's still a very nice shirt. 9th place now, we have Exeter City. Now, this is an Adidas template shirt, but an Adidas template shirt which has been done to perfection. I really, really like how simple but yet effective and sleek this design is. The sponsor fits in. I love the collar. I love the 3 Adidas stripes going down the sleeve. And I like the fact that they've left the sleeves just really plain and simple. Overall, it's a really nice, sleek and stylish and very professional shirt. I'm a massive fan of this. I think they've absolutely smashed this, they have. The only slight little thing I wish they'd done is if they'd added that black trim on the end of the sleeve, I think that would have just topped this shirt off and it would have been absolutely amazing. So I've got Exeter City in 9th place. 8th place now, we have got Portsmouth. Now, this is a bizarre shirt. I have not seen a design like it. It is really in your face. A shirt that could be so simple. They've added something so different, which then just elevates it, makes it look so much nicer. And I love the trim on the end of the sleeve, tiny with the collar. And I like the fact that the badge and the sponsor, everything fits together, bar that little bit of the logo on the sponsor. That purple bit just takes away. I'm being picky now. We're in the top 10. So that's the only thing that lets this down, because overall, this is an absolutely stunning shirt. I love that design. 7th place now, probably the most wacky shirt in this entire league. Now, this is bizarre. Now, this is a shirt that was designed by the 1993 Carlisle United shirt. It is mental. Yes, a lot of people have been saying it looks like a bus seat. A lot of people have been saying it looks like a train seat. I really like it though. I really like this design. I like the fact that it's all the colours again from the badge. I like the trim on the end of the sleeve. I love the collar. Overall, it's a really nice shirt. But potentially, the only letdown for me is it is just a bit too full on. Maybe a bit, especially with that sponsor. Like, it is, when you look at it, it is a bit mental. Maybe if they'd have calmed the sleeves down a bit, maybe just toned it down slightly. They didn't need the full pattern over the whole shirt. That is my only little nitpicking. Overall, though, it's still a really nice design and a really nice shirt. 6th place now, we have CHARLTON ATHLETIC. A lot of people now will be saying it's a boring Castor template, but I really, really like the simplicity of this shirt, the trim on the end of the sleeve, the collar, the different patterns and the different styles of red that you only notice if you look really carefully at. And I like the fact that the sponsor, yes, it is big and it is bold, but it still fits in with the rest of the shirt. I think this is a really simple but yet effective Castor shirt. CHARLTON ATHLETIC, you've smashed this one. Now to the top 5, where we now really start to be nitpicking and take away the slight little defects in these shirt, because all of these top 5 now I am a massive fan on. 5th place, we have Cheltenham Town. Now this is a really interesting shirt. What I love about this is it's not so bright, it is not bold, it is not in your face, but it's just really effective. Again, they've deconstructed the colours from the badge, then those pinstripes, but I like the fact that I've said before, when they don't take the pinstripes all over the shirt where it's not too much, they've left the shoulders plain, they've left the sleeve plain. I like the collar, and I like the fact that the sponsor fits in with the rest of the shirt. My only little thing is, maybe if they added a little bit of design, maybe that gold trim onto the collar, onto the end of the sleeve, just to add a little something, just to pop those little sleeves up. I know I've just said there, I don't want too much design, but I like the little details. But overall, this is a beautiful shirt. Cheltenham, you've smashed it. 4th place now, we have Oxford United, one of the boldest kits we have got in this league. This kit, put your sunglasses on when I put this up on the screen right now. It is in your face. That bright yellow and the solid blue, thick lines, which is what I like. The pinstripes, they've not gone for them. They've gone for slightly thicker pinstripes, which again lifts that shirt, because you know what these two colours can be like. It can be in your face. I like the trim on the end of the sleeve. I love the collar. My only slight thing is maybe that sponsor is a bit too much in your face. You are kind of drawn to how big and bold it is, but overall it's still a beautiful shirt, and I'm nitpicking again. A lovely shirt from Oxford. 3rd place now, a shirt that I'm never usually a fan of, WYCOMBE Wanderers. Now, what I love about this shirt is the simplicity of it, because it is very easy to overdo it with this WYCOMBE shirt. And a lot of people say, oh, it's the same every year. But Hummel have absolutely smashed it. I love the collar. I love the trim on the end of the sleeves. And you can't beat those Hummel tram lines going down the shoulders, and the fact that it ties in with the rest of the shirt and the sponsor fits in. This is overall a really nice shirt. I really like it. The alternative different colours on both sleeves. Very hard to fault. Maybe my only slight fault, maybe if they just took that sponsor off, because it's so thin and the font is so just weak and bit washed. It just doesn't look completely right on that shirt, but overall it's still a beautiful shirt. I'm a massive fan of it. Now to 2nd place, we have Fleetwood Town. Now this pattern and design is absolutely stunning in my opinion. I absolutely love that diamond pattern. You cannot beat it, and the fact that the sponsor ties in with the kit provider, the badge and the sleeves. I love the collar. My only reason why this shirt isn't number 1 is purely down to the trim on the end of the sleeve. If they just had that black line, this shirt would be clear. It'd be number 1. It's just missing something. Those sleeves are just a bit, they're just missing that one little detail, but Puma have smashed this one. It's a lovely shirt. Fleetwood Town, don't get me wrong, I'm a massive fan of this. And yes, you'll have worked out number 1, the greatest League One home shirt this season for me is BRISTOL ROVERS. Now, I am a massive fan of this Macron shirt. You know me, I love this colourway, and I love the fact that the sponsor fits in. The sponsor looks like it's part of the shirt. If you didn't look at that closely, you wouldn't realise that sponsor is not part of this team. You think it's part of it. It looks like it fits in. And I love the intricate pattern going on in all these different panels. I love the trim on the end of the sleeve. I love the old style collar. And I love the tram going down on the shoulder. The tram lines, they are really nice. You can't really fault this shirt at all. It is just a beautiful design. And they've taken something so simple, yet the window pattern with the two different shades, a lot of times it can be quite boring, but they've added little details into it which just pop that white area. It's just such a nice shirt. I cannot fault it. I'm in love with this shirt, and I am so happy that this is number one. I think it is absolutely clear. What an absolute cork of the shirt. Bristol Rovers left it late to drop this, and I'm glad they did because they've absolutely smashed it. But there we go. There you have it. All of the League One home kits ranked from worst to best. Comment down below your thoughts. Any you disagree with, any you agree with, and tell me your number one shirt. And comment down below what other leagues and shirts you would like me to go through and rank. But thank you for watching. BucketHatSam over and out. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.